Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fall River Media News. Yeah, well, I just want to talk about the what was what was actually going on. Okay, um, you know, well, I want to talk about the 19-year-old that's running for governor uh, uh, for governor of Massachusetts against Governor Moore Healy. That's in the 2026 election, and there is, yeah, that 19-year-old is getting a lot of attention in the media, but he's also uh, let's see, you know, he wants to. The thing is, that I don't agree on. I agree on the housing crisis. I agree that there is a housing crisis, but I don't know. There's one other thing I don't agree on. I don't agree on him cutting state income tax. That's one thing I don't agree on because people file taxes every year and they depend on the state. So I don't agree uh, on the uh, on the 19-year-old going to cut state income tax. So, but I do agree that there is a housing crisis. You know what I'm saying, in Massachusetts, and but this 19-year-old is bringing a lot of media attention to him. You know what I'm saying? By him being 19 years old and running for governor, and he wants to challenge Governor Moore Healy to, you know, he wants to debate her and he wants to challenge her, which is good. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be a fun election too as well. But today, I mean, there is a lot of talk between um, Kelly Furtado, the intern police chief of Fall River Police Department. There's been a lot of talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And the city councilors don't want to sign. They don't want to support the contract of Kelly Furtado, the intern police chief, which is, I think, Kelly Furtado uh, did a good job. Um, she did a good job. You know, uh, you know, uh, as the police chief, and we want to get that contract. That contract needs to be resolved. Okay. Now that Laura Sampson stepped down from and resigned from the city council, now we got the candidate that's running for city council, Ricky Tiff, is next in line to um, to take that to fill that seat. So, and I want to know what what his position is. That is he going to support that that contract? So if he's going to support that contract, because Kelly Furtado, she deserves that contract, and a lot of the department and her department is backing her up. So um, and so she deserves that that contract, whether if it's 237,000 a year, she deserves that money. 30 years on the police force, 35 years on the police force. Yeah. So, I mean, this has been an ongoing issue for the last few months when the Coogan administration uh, appointed her as police chief. So, this is an ongoing situation. So and so it needs to be resolved. So that is my concern right now. Um, with the new candidate, you know what I'm saying? That's running for city. That's going to be filling that seat. Uh, but I hope he can handle the heat because uh, that's a tough issue right there. So and but but like I said to him when I messaged him and I said congratulations for taking the seat. You know what I'm saying? Next up, uh, and yeah. So I hope I have confidence in him. That I have confidence in him. That he's going to make the right decision and support and support that contract. You know what I'm saying? Because we do not need another outsider to be police chief. We want Kelly Furtado to be our police chief, and we want her contract to be permanently. Where if it's 237,000, 240,000 a year, I mean that shouldn't make a difference. Okay, that shouldn't make any difference. And I don't want Cliff Ponte or Sean Kadeem to persuade our new city councilor that's going to be sworn in. I don't want him to persuade him and say, "Hey, well, no, you're not voting for this." I don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's my big concern. You know what I'm saying? With all of that, you know. So I want you know good representation. Okay, good representation. Now that I have good representation in my district, and good representation in my district. Now I have it. You know what I'm saying? So um, I want to see Ricky to think for himself. You know what I'm saying? Not get bad advice from someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all it is in that city council. Is get bad advice from other people, and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence in him that he's gonna do the right thing, and he's gonna vote yes on that contract because Kelly Furtado deserves it. Okay, she does deserve it, and and soon she heard that her police officer got caught in that operation sting. She immediately jumped at it and said, "My department don't tolerate that stuff." She immediately called the chief in Boston and talked to the chief in Boston and told the chief that the the Fall River Police Department's going to have their cooperation. So yes, whether this police officer is guilty or not guilty, I'm not going to say he's guilty because he hasn't gone to trial yet. So I'm not going to say that. Okay, that's not for me to say that. That's up to a jury or a judge to say that this police officer is guilty. But my opinion, I think that this police officer should have been held without bail until pending trial. That's what I think. Okay, so Kelly Furtado, chief of police, she did a great job on that. Applause to her, and thank you for Kelly Furtado for doing a great job with that. You know what I'm saying? And in informing the IEB internal affairs about this. You know what I'm saying? I've heard a lot about Kelly, and she's done uh, a phenomenal job in the police department. For 30, 35 years being a police officer, you know what I'm saying? So, um, that this is where, let's see, this is where, you know, that we need her permanently there. So even if it's even if it's 240, 235 a year, we need her to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So um, people are backing her up. Her department is backing her up and everything. So I'm backing her too. So um, but and I just read this morning, City Council has rejected it again. Rejected her claim again for the contract. And so we're going to keep fighting for Kelly Furtado until she gets her contract renewed and she can be our permanent police chief that we were all waiting for. She's great. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, regardless of her status, okay, she got a GED, yes. Okay. All right. She got a GED, yes. Okay. But you know something? That should have never came in play like that. Okay. That should have never ever came into play like that. Okay. That should have never been brought up. Okay. What should have mattered is that how long she was on the police force. Okay. That's what should matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what should matter. My uncle was a police commissioner, Nero Farias, for a very long time. He started off as a police officer, and he then became a liaison officer. Then he had 250 auxiliary police under his name, under his belt. So the GED shouldn't matter. What should matter is her experience. What should matter is her experience as a police officer, and what changes that she could make into the department. So again, I'm hoping that Ricky Tiff, the newest city council that's going to be sworn in. Hope it's him, and I hope he does the right thing, and and think for himself, because I mean we got to resolve this issue. This is an issue that's been ongoing for quite some time. Uh, this is an issue that's been ongoing for quite some time, and we need to resolve. Uh, we need to resolve the link. I mean that issue. Yeah, so we need to resolve that. That there. So we need to resolve that, because if we don't resolve it, um, then we don't need an outsider. We don't want an outsider. Hey, you know what? I'd rather pay the 235, 240, whatever the salary is. I'd rather pay that to her. You know what I'm saying? Because my beliefs, I think she earned it. I think she earned it. Okay. All right. She earned those bars, and and I think her being a police chief is really good. She earned that. Okay, she did. And you know something, and I don't know why Cliff Ponte. Okay, I don't know why Cliff Ponte, okay, and Sean Kadeem don't want to approve that contract, okay? And I saw it on Facebook today. That contract was rejected again, okay? So we need to resolve this issue before we move on to other issues that are that Fall River is really facing. We're in facing. So and it's pretty sad that uh, Laura 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 Sampson had to step down and resign. Yeah, wow, because you know people's personal business shouldn't even be put out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And some reporter did that. You know what I'm saying? That was over there, and it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad that um, that it happened the way it did, the way it went down. You know, but there's nothing you can do now. She resigned from the city council, um, and she got out of her seat. She walked out. She didn't want to deal with it no more. You know what I'm saying? That's you know. But anyways, but I again, um, congratulations to Ricky Tiff. Um, being the newest city council going to be sworn in soon, hopefully at the next meeting, and we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if he can handle the heat over there, because right now that is a big topic. Right now is the police chief. You know what I'm saying? It's the police chief, so we want to. We want to get this. We want to get this. We want to get this resolved. We want to get that contract approved. Oh, Cliff Ponte, man, and Sean Kadeem. Cliff Ponte and Sean Kadeem. You know what I'm saying? Unreal. They're not support. They're not. Uh, mm, did not support the contract again. It's sad. So yeah, it is. It's sad. I think Cliff Ponte, Sean Kadeem, Joe Camara. I think they ought to be. I think they ought to. I think they ought to resign too as well, because they're no good at representing our community. We need good representation. You know what I'm saying, we have to have good representation. You know, without good representation for us and this and for the people of Fall River, nothing's going to get done. Nothing at all. And and the way Coogan's always saying, well, you know, we're gonna put police officers on during the summertime. Well, if you're gonna put police officers on during the summertime, we need to put them on permanent uh, 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 to walk our neighborhoods permanently. You know what I'm saying, you know, to walk our neighborhoods, because just the other week, a guy was armed with a weapon on a crosswalk. Okay, well, on the bike, actually the bike path. He was armed with a weapon, police have to show up there. You know what I'm saying? You know, so and we got to get them on a nice day out there on the on the path, okay, where they can ride their bikes. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. This is Dave Mead for Media News. I'll be on tonight. We'll be discussing this issue as the new city council gets sworn in. Take care.